Rest in peace to MARSHAWN KNEELAND, born in 2021 until 2025.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're looking at a really tough story. The death of Dallas Cowboys defensive end MARSHAWN KNEELAND.
Yeah, it's incredibly stark. He scores his first NFL touchdown on Monday night.
A huge moment, recovering that blocked punt.
Exactly. And then just 3 days later, Thursday, November 6th, he's found dead in Frisco, Texas, ruled a suicide.
That whiplash, that contrast, it's almost impossible to process. That's really what we want to unpack today.
Right. Our goal here is to piece together the timeline based on the official sources, understand the tragic personal stuff happening behind the scenes.
And also look at the public health reaction, because that was pretty significant.
Definitely unprecedented in some ways.
Okay, so let's start with his journey. Nealon wasn't like a five-star recruit out of high school, right?
Yeah, he went to Western Michigan. Kind of under the radar initially, but he really developed there. Earned second-team All-MAC honors in 2023.
And then the Cowboys take him in the second round of the 2024 draft. 56 overall. That's major.
Huge step up, big expectations, big pressure. And then comes that touchdown moment against whoever they were playing that Monday.
His only career touchdown? A massive professional high. But what was going on personally? The sources point to something devastating.
They really do. His mother, Wendy Kneeland, had died just months earlier, back in February 2024.
Oh, wow. Right before the draft.
Yeah. Accidental drug overdose. And relatives said it hit him incredibly hard, deeply affected him.
There was that detail about the necklace, too, wasn't there?
Yes, carrying some of her ashes in a small urn necklace. He literally carried that grief with him onto the field, into the spotlight.
That's a heavy burden, especially combined with rookie-year pressures in the NFL. So how does this crisis unfold in those final hours?
Well, the documented facts show the mental health emergency came first. Kneeland sent out text messages.
No kind of messages.
Described as goodbye messages, sent to family, friends. That's what triggered the alarm.
So before any police involvement.
Yes, absolutely crucial point. His girlfriend, Catalina Mancera, saw these texts, got incredibly worried, and called for a welfare check.
And she told them.
She specifically told authorities he was armed and expressing suicidal thoughts. That was the situation before law enforcement had any contact.
Okay, so the stage was set for a crisis intervention, essentially. Then what happened with the police interaction?
Right, so later, Texas DPS troopers tried to pull him over for a traffic violation. There was a brief chase.
Brief.
Very brief. The troopers terminated the pursuit quickly. But now, they weren't just looking for someone who evaded a stop. They were searching for a person known to be armed and suicidal.
Which changes the whole dynamic of the search.
Completely. They brought in K-9 units, drones. It became a multi-agency effort to find him, hopefully before he harmed himself.
But they found him too late.
Tragically, yes. The Collin County Medical Examiner and Frisco PD investigated, and the official finding was unanimous. Self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Okay, that's the official timeline, the documented facts.
Yeah.
But there was pushback from some family.
Right. There was. Understandably, in their grief, his cousin, Jasmine Kneeland, said publicly, "I truly think they killed him."
That's a really strong accusation.
Yeah.
How do the sources contextualize that?
Well, Dr. Jaya Matthew, a psychologist quoted in the reports, described it as fitting a pattern sometimes seen in intense grief denial, needing an external cause for something so painful, especially with the stigma around suicide.
The silent struggles, as she put it.
Exactly. Because the factual timeline, the texts, the welfare check before police contact, it just doesn't support an external threat scenario. His crisis was internal and already in motion.
And this tragedy, this specific narrative and the hard facts, it seemed to force the NFL's hand in a way.
It really did. The response was immediate and quite forceful institutionally.
What did they do specifically?
The league basically mandated that the moments of silence planned for Week 10 games couldn't just be silent.
What do you mean?
They had to be paired with a public service announcement, specifically promoting the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Wow. So using that massive platform, those millions of viewers, for direct mental health advocacy.
Instantly. Turning a commemoration into a public health intervention, it was a major pivot.
So the final thought here for you listening, MARSHAWN KNEELAND's death became this immediate catalyst for league-wide action on prevention.
Yeah, a mandated conversation, essentially.
So what does that mean? What does this kind of top-down institutional advocacy signal about the pressures on athletes, especially male athletes? And is it enough to keep that honest conversation about suicide going, like the experts called for?
That's the lingering question, isn't it? Something to really think about.